everybody, and welcome. My name is Melissa Rebronja. I'm a heart healer. And today I have a very special guest, Freyja Inanna. Welcome, Freyja.
Hello. So excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So Freyja Inanna has such a fascinating story that when I heard about her, I was like, oh my God, I want to interview this woman. Number one, which was so interesting about you, Freyja, is you were in a polygamist marriage that began at the age of 15 and in Canada. What? Polygamist in Canada? So you are an ex-polygamist, but today you are an integrative orgasmic healing practitioner, a thought leader, and a healer. And you live in Costa Rica. Your practice is called Inanna Sanctuary. So it's just fascinating, like where you began at 15 to where you are now. And we're going to be showing some pictures of your transformation. So stay tuned for that. So let's start from the beginning. You're 15 years old in Alberta, Canada. And how do you end up married to a polygamist in BC?
Our family in Alberta was the only family that was a part of the fundamentalist LDS religion. And there, because my dad had spent pretty much his whole life there, and he didn't want to move to a place that, you know, had more of people who had the same faith, because he was comfortable there. It was not a pleasant experience for us as children growing up there, because, you know, half the community was mainstream LDS and they did not like us. It was like, you know, it's like it was bringing up the whole polygamy era in the LDS church for them, and they felt like we were just really bad people. And as children, we were persecuted in school. My brothers were beat up. We did have connections with the community in British Columbia, and would go there for meetings on occasion. And I really wanted to be a part of that. I mean, if we're going to be a part of a religion, I wanted to not experience this extreme persecution. And so when two of my friends who were 16 at the time in British Columbia got married, I thought, hey, well, if I just get married, then I have to move somewhere that has more people like me, right? So, and at the time, the very, very common practice was for arranged marriages. So I ended up being the second wife of Winston Blackmore in the community in British Columbia. And he was 25 at the time. I was 15.
When you arrived and you had a ceremony, and what was your life like as a wife?
Well, it was interesting because, you know, he was pretty kind to me at the time when I first was married to him. It was difficult, because being very young, the other wife treated me like I was a child, but expected me to be as responsible as an adult. But, you know, it was like that whole hierarchy of first wife is the boss kind of thing. And you know, there was a lot of dynamics going on, and it just wasn't the best experience. We'll put it that way. It was hard. I had to hide nearly all of who I am to even begin to fit in that environment. It was very strict, very repressive, very patriarchal. And women did not have a voice.
So he ended up marrying, like, he had 24 wives?
He had 25 at one point.
25 and 140 something kids, right?
Over 150 now.
Wow. And 12 of which are yours?
Yes.
So you had 12 children. That's amazing.
Yeah, I have 13 now, but one I had with my current husband after I left the community, and because he couldn't have children, then we have different man is the biological father of our child, but he's Michael's legally. And he is just a pure joy, pure joy. And we chose to have him so that we could raise him in an environment where he would always be in touch with his own divinity and his power, and know that the only limits that you have in what you can do in life are what you place on yourself. So this is a whole new way of raising a child. And also having the support of a partner in my life through all of that was really amazing. Because that was one of the really, really hard parts of being one of many, is I had really no relationship with my husband for many years. I was with him for 28 years.
How does it work in terms of having sexual relations?
Well, it's whoever he chooses to sleep with is who gets the attention. And being very patriarchal, it was the idea of, I'm not going to let my women tell me what to do, and if it's set up on like any kind of schedule and in any way fair, well then I'm letting my women run my life. And so he didn't believe in doing it that way, and so he did whatever he wanted. And so quite honestly, some of us very rarely saw him, other than maybe showing up in a group of
But then why would he
talking.
why would a polygamist want that many wives if he's not even taking care of them? Okay, if you're going to do that, then shouldn't you be taking excellent care of the 15 wives in every possible way? Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And that's how I would feel about it. For me, I'm all for people having any kind of relationship structure that they desire, as long as everyone in the relationship's needs are being met and everyone is happy and everyone is at choice. In a patriarchal society that practices polygamy, it's different than that though. And it's a kind of a situation where the women are told that if they don't live polygamy, then they're going to go to hell.
Oh my God.
But if they don't live polygamy, well then they're holding their husband back.
And then me as a woman, can I have 24 husbands?
No. And so even if women say, yes, I want my husband to have another wife, she's saying it from a place of, I have to say this or I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I have to say this or I'm going to hell.
And he's probably not a good lover. I can't imagine, because I have to answer, but I can't imagine.
Well, we'll put it this way. The woman's pleasure is not the priority.
Yeah. So that is so boring.
The focus is put on the idea that sex is for procreation. It's for this, it's for that. And definitely the man gets their needs met, but it's so not from a place of connection and creativity and beauty.
Yeah.
That it's what it's meant to be. And so in the long run, I feel like everyone misses out.
Yeah.
Really, even the guy. Honestly, it's not ever explored and taken to the place that it deserves to go. It really isn't.
So, I mean, looking back, do you think that he was even ever in love with anyone?
I don't feel like and this is not in any way meant to insult him, but I don't feel like that he was emotionally available to anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, at a deep level.
Yeah.
And again, he missed out too because of that. And so much of it is because the religion is so patriarchal, and it's all about the women being obedient and doing what they're told. And any woman who speaks out and tries to own her voice is a bitch.
Wow.
And if you ask for more attention than you're getting, you're a jealous bitch.
Wow.
That's the kind of teaching that goes on in this kind of organization. And so both the men and the women are brainwashed to believe this is true.
Sounds very disempowering.
It is.
How did you get out of that? How amazing. So you've had 12 children and you were there for 28 years. And what happened?
Well, I was working as a nurse, so supporting myself and as a midwife. And at the time, I really, really struggled with the whole relationship that was going on. I was very unhappy as a nurse, recognizing thoughts of being possibly even feeling suicidal was incredibly scary. And I was supposed to be the strong one. I'm the one that's supposed to take care of everyone. And I knew that no one would love my children like I did. And so I just hung in there. I stayed, I hung in there. And, but I realized, you know, it's never going to change. It's never going to get any better, which was really, really hard to know that it's never going to get any better. And then to be taught that the next life is just a continuation of this one. I'm thinking, who the fuck wants that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for about the last 6 to 7 years, I really struggled and I wanted to leave, but it was this whole thing in your mind of, if I leave, if I betray the covenants that I've made, then I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
And I ended up participating in a really, really amazing self-empowerment program the year before I left.
Okay.
And through this, I really started to get in touch with myself on a deeper level and to learn more about who I am. And a lot of that was about, you know, just releasing old beliefs and really getting in touch with what lit me up, what turned me on, what was beautiful to me. And it really spoke to the healer in me. And because I'd already started dabbling in things like herbal, I was an herbalist, a certified herbalist, and started looking into aromatherapy and crystals. And so I was kind of jokingly referred to, or not so jokingly referred to, the witch in the community. But actually made quite a difference. And a lot of people in that community now do use essential oils and herbs and things. So I did have a major impact on the community, even, you know, with the resistance that I was being given towards it when I first started. But taking this program really created me realizing that all that was keeping me trapped was my own beliefs in my mind, that there was any truth in it, and that actually God did want me to be happy. Yes. And that I did deserve to have a meaningful and deep relationship.
Which you have now.
Which I have now.
Like, if hell looks like this, hey, sign me up, right? You're living in Costa Rica, you have a beautiful husband, you have a loved child.
Yeah, it's like, it's been one amazing ride, one amazing journey, because we all have our own free will. And the thing is, but the lowest vibration in a relationship wins. So I either had to go back and lose who I am, which would have been even more painful than before I had begun to get in touch with that. And either that or I had to leave. And so I finally chose that I would leave. And
good for you.
And that I would give my children a different example of what a relationship looks like, one that's truly meaningful and deep and honoring of both people involved.
Beautiful. And, so you met Michael at this, the retreat that you did, right?
Yes, I did. I did meet him at that training. And so about a couple of months after I had left the community and left my religion and my partner, then Michael found out that I was no longer married, and he asked me out. And what's really interesting about that is that 2 weeks before, I had written in my journal the kind of relationship that I wanted to draw into my life, what I deserved to have. And I really got detailed on how that would feel. And then 2 weeks later, he asked me out, and it's just been an incredible, beautiful journey. And the healing has just gotten even deeper and grown exponentially since then.
Talk about your work that you do today.
Okay. It's called Integrative Orgasmic Healing, and the basis of it was created by Ben and Jen Rohde, and their business is the Rohde Institute. And originally, the healing modality was called explosive sexual healing. When Michael and I took the training, and when I discovered this modality, it was through my nephew, And I saw his pictures on Facebook, him and his wife and their kids. And it's just like they were totally on fire. They were light and alive and vibrant. And they had not been that way before. And so I contacted him and I said, what's going on? What are you doing? Because your pictures, like I can see like you're totally different. And he told me about this modality and how it has saved his life. My husband was really impressed as well. And we're just like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This depth of healing is exactly why I'm here. This is what I came here to do. And I guess I had to experience the opposite of it to really connect with the passion and desire to assist other people at this level of deep healing.
Yes.
And we became practitioners. And the hugest part of my transformation, like even, how your external state will grow to match your internal state. And
yes.
So the transformation between before doing this training and now as practitioner, that we've been doing this for 2 years now.
Who would be your ideal client?
Our ideal clients are people who have done a lot of work on themselves already. We're not your first go-to for someone starting on a spiritual awakening journey or healing journey. We really love working with people who are really committed to healing their sexual shame and trauma. But we work with all kinds of trauma, people who've experienced like abuse as children, any kind of abuse, or longstanding abuse, like women who've been in, or men who've been in a narcissistic relationship, and that gets really challenging, but we're up for the challenge. It's amazing, the kind of transformation, but they have to be in a place where they have gotten past their victim story. Yes, they've had a story. Yes, they've had a history. And yes, it hasn't been pleasant. And they're ready to take control of their lives and really be accountable for creating their own reality and stepping into that healing process, even if it's really hard, because this is an intense process.
Yes.
It's not for someone who wants this really soft, gentle, gradual, slow-paced journey, because this is intense. This is full on voice, breath, and movement, full body release of all of your traumas, all your limiting beliefs. So it's working on the mental, emotional, physical, and energetic levels simultaneously.
People can travel there and do workshops.
Our integrative orgasmic healing is in person. They come here for a retreat. We're working with one client, 2 practitioners. It's very intensive and it's absolutely transformational. It's so beautiful. And the orgasmic part of it is incredibly important because because we're using a combination of somatic bodywork and NLP and hypnotherapy techniques, certain techniques, and also Reiki energy work and other energy work forms, and so that it's working on all those levels. So once they've released so much energy and trauma from the body, then it creates like a vacuum effect within the body where it's wanting to draw in whatever energy it's exposed to next.
Yes.
So the orgasmic energy is the highest vibration energy that it's possible to experience in human form. Orgasm is a hypnotic trance state. And so then you become very, very suggestible.
Yes.
And this can be a good or bad thing. I mean, if you've got a woman who has just orgasmed and her boyfriend says, you take too long to orgasm.
Yeah.
That went in really deep, and that becomes true for her because it goes it goes into the body at a cellular level. And so we're using it at that time to take really, really powerful affirmations that if that person, man or woman, believed that statement on a cellular level, it would change everything. In that state of orgasm, the ego can't exist. This is the other huge reason. You have to be in the now moment to be in a state of orgasm. And so, so then the ego's gone. And so saying those affirmations very powerfully while in that state of intense orgasm, it just goes into the body at that deep, deep transformational level that way. And we're teaching them to use this as a manifesting tool as well.
Yes. So. What they say, they call it sex magic in Tantra, right?
Yes.
That's
yes,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're doing really amazing work. So much needed on our planet today. You mentioned an audio program that you have.
Yes, we have a 6-module audio program, which is all about creating deeper intimacy and trust in relationships. There's a module on communication, how to really communicate effectively, and one module on how to draw in your perfect partner if you don't already have one. And also there's one on how a man can create, or, you know, a woman in a same-sex relationship. It works the same no matter what kind the relationship is. But this one's kind of speaking to the men of how they can actually, in an honoring way to women, make them feel safe and turned on. So it's creating that sexual trust in a relationship, because, you know, how you show up in your relationship in all the little things affects how she will perceive you in the sexual aspect of the relationship. So if she can't trust you to do what you say you'll do, she can't trust you in the sexual aspect of the relationship either. So it's a really, really great module. There's even one about really mastering your sexuality, your orgasm, and how to move the energy on different levels to create a space where both partners are getting the most out of the sexual experience that is possible.
Where can people find this?
I will post a link in the comments below.
Okay. What is your message to a woman right now that is in a situation that you were disempowered, whether it's a marriage or relationship, and just feels stuck?
Well, my message is that you deserve so much more, and that really that sacral chakra, that sexual energy, that creative energy, that area in Eastern philosophy, that is called the seat of the self. And if you're not connected with that part of yourself, you are disconnected from self.
Yeah.
And so it's so important to heal that part of ourselves, and because it affects absolutely every area of our lives, including our relationships and our creativity, our ability to manifest our abundance. Just everything is connected to us being connected with who we are down here too, not just here.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful, the effects that it will have on your life to heal that part of yourself and embrace your sexuality, embrace your pleasure, start to receive, and take it even one step at a time. Choose one thing, one way in which you will receive every day, and then take it further and further and further, because it is possible to heal that.
Beautiful. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience today?
That we are so passionate about creating deep transformational healing in the world, one person at a time, and we're absolutely passionate about what we do. So what I'd love to offer is anyone who would like to learn more, we'd offer them a free 1-hour vibration raising phone call, where it's a process. They have to fill out an application, and that application goes deep into their sexual history, their history of trauma, what it is that they desire to create in their lives, what they feel is holding them back. And then we take that information, we meditate on it, and then we have that phone call with them for an hour, and we're really going to blow it open and explore and explore where their blocks are and how they can begin to shift that energy.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. What a beautiful offer. We'll post your website and links and how to contact you. And thank you so much for everything that you are and what you're sharing, and your beautiful journey. And
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.